Okay, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for subscribing. Keep on subscribing to our videos. And the World Cup is over for Ghana, and but it's not over for a lot of the players. So many stories of big moves for some Ghanaian players, and after interacting with some players in the Black Star squad in Qatar, what I can confirm is that not many of them will be at their clubs for a long time. So I spoke to some of the players, and I spoke to some of their agents and agents of clubs as well. What I can confirm is that there are around 7 to 8 players who will make big money moves to some big clubs, and some will have an upgrade or improvement in their transfer value. So I can confirm, sir, Accra House of Folk striker, or Accra House of Folk forward or winger or attacking midfielder Afriyie Barnieh, who signed a contract with the club before leaving for the World Cup, is expected to make a big money move. So there is a big club in the Gulf, there is a big club in the Arabia who are on the heels of Afriyie Barnieh. Even though said the player couldn't have a taste of the World Cup, but the friendly match against Switzerland, what he did in the game, and for the fact that he's been selected into Ghana's final 26-man squad is enough, and his value has skyrocketed. So Afriyie Barnieh is now in the region of 1.2 to 1.3 million euro, according to what his agents are quoting, and even beyond that if they get the interest and suitors coming. So there are clubs in Belgium, there is a club in Switzerland that is on the heels, and there is a club in Austria, but the interest is coming from the Gulf, where the money involved is very huge, that Afriyie Barnieh, his management, will have to contemplate on where will be the best destination for him. So I can confirm that Afriyie Barnieh, who was part of the Ghana Black Star squad in Qatar, will have a move definitely in the coming weeks to have a bigger move. That is a fact. So, on another level, Alidu Seidu, the right back who plays for Clermont, has been one of the revelations of the World Cup. The right back has been very aggressive, tackling, his confidence level, and everything was top-notch. Even though Ghana couldn't progress to the next stage, but Alidu Seidu has become one of the outstanding players in the Ghana team. And you cannot say he's perfect and 100% right, but what he did in the World Cup and the prospect he showed, he's very young, and he signed a contract to stay at Clermont till 2025. So Clermont were very smart in improving his contract, but there are stories that 2 or 3 clubs in the French league plus a club in the Italian Serie A have made contacts with the management of Alidu Seidu, and the player will likely move to a club that is in the middle of the mid-table club in Italy, and there are 2 clubs in the French league who have made inquiries about Alidu Seidu. His value is now 2.5 million and can even rise to 5 million after the World Cup, because it's a monthly assessment and review of the player's quality and his value. So Alidu Seidu at the moment is around 2 million euro, and is expected to raise to around 4 million to 5 million euro if the clubs come calling. So there are 2 clubs in the French league who are after him, and there is a mid-table club in the Italian Serie A who would want to get Alidu Seidu. You remember Ataboka and Frankamankwa, exactly like that, built in the shape of Ataboka, formerly of La Côte d'Ivoire. So this is Alidu Seidu's move, around 5 million euro. If Clermont are interested, the player can move to one of these clubs, and as these leagues are mentioned. Lawrence Ati-Zigi, before the World Cup, was rated around 800,000 euro to 1 million euro, and after the World Cup, Ati-Zigi's value is around 3 million euro. That's more than doubled. And stories I'm gathering is that Ajaccio, the AC Ajaccio in the French league, are interested in signing Lawrence Ati-Zigi, and there is also a club in the Swiss league where he plays, and also Genk, who play in the Belgian league, are interested in getting the services of Ati-Zigi, the goalkeeper of Ghana. He was not the first choice goalkeeper, but due to the injury to Wolocott, he came in, and he's been very extraordinary in the sense of a lot of Ghanaians, because he was not considered a great goalkeeper by a lot of Ghanaians, who derided him and chastised him for, allowing very cheap goals and being error prone. But what he did at this World Cup has cemented his name amongst the top goalkeepers in the country. So there is a likelihood that from St. Gallen, Lawrence Ati-Zigi could get a big move to a top club, or get an upgrade of clubs after the World Cup. He's now rated around €3 million from the World Cup. He was 800,000 to 1.5, and there has been an increment in his value. He shot up because of his exploits at the World Cup. And then let me also touch on another goalkeeper, Danlad Ibrahim, who plays for Asante Kotoko. He's also attracting interest from across Africa, and also clubs in North Africa particularly, and the Scandinavia. He's had offers already, but there are stories of clubs in Africa, one South African club, there is a club in Egypt, and also Morocco, who have made inquiries for the services of Danlad Ibrahim, one of Ghana's goalkeepers at this World Cup, and also plays for Asante Kotoko. Let me touch on Salisu Mohammed. We all know the prospect of Salisu Mohammed. There were clubs like Manchester City who were looking at him. Big clubs, Barcelona, before the World Cup, saw him as a long-term replacement for Gerard Piqué. And so many big clubs in Europe are now circling around Salisu Mohammed of Southampton. But the player's value has shot up from around 11 million that he was acquired from Valladolid. The player's value is around 25 million to 30 million now, and it could even go higher. There are a lot of people who think that he's a Rolls Royce of defenders and can even go for around 70 to 80 million pounds. Of course, so Mohammed Salisu is also attracting interest, and even though Southampton have insisted that they will not sell him before the World Cup, they said it, but after playing 3 solid games at the World Cup, including scoring at the World Cup and becoming Ghana's first defender to score at the World Cup, Mohammed Salisu's value has shot up, and there are clubs around Europe, or in Europe, especially in the Premier League, who would want to acquire his services from Southampton. So that is for Mohammed Salisu. And let me talk about one midfielder whose World Cup campaign has been quite stellar because he had not played for Ghana before. He moved from Clermont to Lens in the French league for around 3 to 3.5 million euro. But Salis Abdul Samed's value has shot up and is around 10 million euro after the World Cup. And that could even get a rise, or that could even get a higher amount because of the World Cup exploit. Salis Abdul Samed has signed a new contract with Lens, and there are clubs who are interested in him. Very robust, a hard tackler, and got quite an admirable stamina to back it, and his height is one that a lot of clubs will be in admiration of. So Salis Abdul Samed has had its value shoot up from 3 million to around 10 million. This is what we've been hearing, and his management are saying that there are clubs making inquiries and wanting to know whether Lens will allow him to make a move or not. So Salis Abdul Samed is also attracting huge interest. And I end on the notes of Mohammed Kudus, and everyone is aware. Barcelona have said that they've been monitoring him for quite some time. We saw stories from England of how Chelsea are keenly interested in Mohammed Kudus of Ajax, stories of how Barcelona, Real Madrid, and even Manchester United, Liverpool are also said to be interested. And even before the World Cup, Borussia Dortmund had spoken to him. And the value, he was acquired for around 12 million from North Zealand to Ajax. And the value is around 40 to 50 million euro at the moment. And Mohammed Kudus, from all indications and from what he's shown in this World Cup, can even go beyond 70 to 80 million pounds for a player of his caliber, his age, and for what he did in the Champions League and translating that into the World Cup. Ghana played only 3 games, but it was all about Mohammed Kudus providing assists and scoring goals, becoming the first Ghanaian player to score 2 goals in a World Cup game. These are records that should shut up his transfer markets and also open more doors for him. So there are huge clubs, very massive clubs, big clubs in Europe who are after the services of Mohammed Kudus, and with his situation at Ajax, how the Ajax coach has treated him. Sometimes all man in Bobo be or bench and but the guy has shown that he has an immense potential, and there are about 7 to 8 top clubs in Europe who are after Mohammed Kudus. And if Ajax can sell him for around 60 to 70 million, 80 million euro, I'm sure that they will want to take this opportunity. It will be a very huge bargain because they are not even playing him on regular basis despite his immense talent. And there are clubs who are interested in getting him and making him a star player. So star boy Mohammed Kudus is attracting interest and can go for as high as 70 million euro from the reports that we're gathering. And Chelsea is one of the clubs that are keenly interested in acquiring Mohammed Kudus. So these are some Ghanaian players, 7 or 8 of them that have spoken to managers and spoken to some officials, and from the media reports, very credible media reports, on Betima making moves. After every World Cup, Ghana players saying opportunity to make moves. The platform that the national team offers is immense beyond winning bonuses, and these 7 players, in my opinion, are attracting interest and could make moves when the transfer window opens, the next transfer window. Thank you very much for watching, and keep on subscribing and keep on sharing our videos and liking all the contents.